All right, guys, we're back. It's game one in the other semifinals. We'll see how this one goes. Spawning here to the top left, he is the ever dominant blue Protoss from Root Gaming, herO.
In the bottom right, as the red Terran, it is.
By the way, let's restart this call because you just cut out after real. So we're just gonna get Discord resituated here real quick, guys. Sorry about that. All right, let's do take two. You ready?
In the bottom right, as the red Terran, it's Ryung.
Nice. Also, we had oh, this name's harder to say than the guy who got the sub gifted to him. Abesia Malktho gifted a sub to Synapsis, who I know has been begging for one all stream. So thank you for probably making his day come true. Come true? Shit. His dream come true.
His day come true.
His daydream come true.
And now it's good. Yeah. Nice of you to do that. So I did not give Ryung a high chance here, and this is only partially because I find it surprising Ryung even got this far. I'm just gonna really BM right now. But Ryung doesn't usually get to the top 4. He's usually beat out by an Innovation or a Zest or something before the round of 4. Or a herO, which is why I really think that herO is going to win this one. But maybe Ryung has some weird anti-Protoss strategy, because that's definitely like what 75% of my conclusion is drawn from, is that this is a TVP.
I found that too. Play a little co-op before we get into it. Let's comment in chat. This week's mutation is more difficult than TVP. You must be talking from the Terran perspective, of course, because this is a difficult mutation. I have to do it in North America still, so I might give it some streaming later. I kind of lucked out getting it done in Korea so quickly, though, on my second try. It's a pain in the ass, this one. It's a lot of RNG, and it can be all over. It's, you know what it is? It's the They Are Billions mutation, because you look away for one moment and you're fucked.
Yeah. There's a lot of times when my partner, because I was pretty good about not getting nuked accidentally. That wasn't really my problem. It was like a bunch of other stuff, right? Like
It was our problem.
Yeah, but I would definitely watch a couple of different partners. Like I played random with people, and then I got someone. But I would watch them, all of their tanks surround a hybrid that was getting really low, and I would like ping over and over and over again, and then they'd lose all of them. And I was like, okay, I guess we're not winning. Those nukes, though, they can be tricky.
I just remember Alarak was super OP when I did it last time, so I had a fun time. I had just leveled him up on Korea too, thank God.
Yeah, that's apparently what you got to do, or, well, what makes it easier. So an Adept gets in here, which is a little shocking. You don't let the Adept transfer to the main, even if you want a Scout, you just don't want to lose it.
It's like trapping a bee in the same room as you.
It's gonna sting you.
Yeah.
Or it dies. Yeah. Good analogy, but it got a great Scout. As I said, like, it's not really, I don't think that they want to transfer in most of the time, even if the door is open. But in this case, herO now knows it's a Widowmine drop, which just doesn't do what it used to. Not anymore.
She ain't what she used to be. But
to be honest, it actually does almost exactly what it used to, which is nothing.
I was not gonna go down that path, but you're not incorrect. I was actually just thinking, this is one of those things though that I think the gambling element is here. Sometimes this can, like, you'll just, that perfect thing is herO's looking at the wrong part of his base, he doesn't see us coming in time. There's a lot of what ifs, but I said it before we cast him, I'll stick to it. He's good at reacting, and I don't think that, like, unless Ryung is distracting him straight up, like, hey, look at me, look at the Reaper, come chase me, I don't think he's going to be able to get many of these off. And if he does burrow them, they're going to kill, like, a probe at most.
Exactly. I mean, Major, they didn't really do much in the last iteration of Widowmines, and it's true, like, generally there would be an Observer or an Oracle, and the gain after not getting that many probes would be minimal. Now it's just is nothing after getting no probes, so... well, this actually is not going to get... Okay, they actually get more than I thought. Nice
Not
blink
worth...
away. Nice juke. And then an accidental attack on the blink. Blink stalker.
Please tell me that's what the other one?
No, he knows. Okay. Alright, you didn't even have to blink juke that one. So...
It's not the lack of the Widowmine damage that makes this so upsetting to watch. It's losing the medevac. That's what kills this for me. And Part of that comes with the strength of stalkers. Part of it just comes from him diving in a little too deep. And poor Ryung walks away with a pretty bad engagement on his hands. That being said, though, back at home, Stone 41 workers, not rushing out of third base, but his production is kicking up real nice.
I mean, when people go for the Whittle Mine drop, you're right. They're going for that random chance that it does, you know, they don't pull fast enough or far enough. But it's not like it is a terrible opener. You get a lot of scouting with it. In this case, he scouted the third Nexus and the Blink Stalker. So, I mean, is that a surprise? No, but it's good to scout. And you do follow up immediately into tanks, and some Terrans still like tank pushes. I feel like on especially large maps like Ascension to Ire, they're just really bad. So, but that does seem to be like something that I hold as an opinion stronger than other Terrans, because we do see a lot of Terrans still do tank pushes. I feel like I never see them work.
I hate being the one streaming sometimes. I don't get to tab out and click on random things. Supposedly there's a hilarious clip of Wardy in chat, and supposedly your dicking clause has made Reddit. See how far it gets, though.
I saw. So far, it's not getting too far up. No one upvoted it.
Yeah, don't do that thing.
Well, that has no rules against me telling me not to do something.
Oh, Zombie Grub, thank you for gifting a sub to Belsk.
I figured he'd make that joke one day. As soon as I saw that username, I was like, I wonder if he made this on a day that I was being particularly catty. Or if it's just coincidental and Rifkin's going to make a joke about it later on. And the good news is my cattiness doesn't change no matter my period or not. It stays the same always.
In my defense, what, 5 years now we're working, 4 years, something that we're working together? I have never made a period joke. Not once. Maybe about Victorian times, but...
I feel like maybe you have, but it wasn't directed at me.
Sure. Point is... Shout out to Jessica on period for subbing, gifting a sub to Belsinger. Anyways, the army is not in the main. This is bad. He does get the War Prism though, so this will stop the attack meeting too out of hand. However, Ryung's got to pick and choose. Deal with the main or deal with the front. He can't deal with both, and this is looking pretty bad.
If he doesn't see just tanks, that army that's coming into his natural will kill them 100%. 1000%, it's happening, it's dead, and Ryung just unloaded his 2 medevacs, not in the main base, so an extra bit of time. Bot here does more damage. herO, and then recall, or not. I think he can also maybe just warp in and oh no, he just used warp in. At his third. And so his third base is going to be on, or his main is going to be under fire here, but now he can recall after dealing so much damage.
Oh, I like this. Ryung puts the one Marine to the side to look for that recall, specifically. There it is. And that's the X's Q. Unfortunately, this guy's been left behind to die. But oh no! Where's the blink?
Oh, I one shot. I think he used it to get over here in the first place. There we go. GG.
Good game. herO.
Someone predicted herO to win under 10 minutes.
Wow.
So he has 2 minutes to win the next game.
That guy should stick to cast instead of predicting, or I don't remember what that one guy said in chat.
That's what he said.
Yo, I'm actually, we've had our fair share of being salty about people chat. This isn't a tangent to go on it, but I'm surprised. I've recently learned about a lot of other people who are having these same problems. Not just in the StarCraft scene, obviously, but like a lot of other streamer friends too. I don't know what's going on with this time of the year for everyone to be erupting out with like opinions on it. I just feel like, hey, we do it all the time, so I'm used to it. I'm numb to the callous idiot comments in chat at this point. But like, other people I know are getting real upset, and I feel bad for them because I guess they're not used to it. They don't have a ban list that is 1,600 people long, 400 of which is the same guy.
Yeah. No, they don't. Yeah, I guess I have seen a lot more retweets and subtweets and stuff about it. But I also contributed to me not really following anyone outside the StarCraft scene for such a long time. Only in the recent, like 8 months, 6 months or something, have I gone outside of StarCraft 2 on Twitch. So I thought it was usual.
Well, guys, we're hopping to Blackpink. We'll see you in game. We're hopping to game number 2 here in the semifinals. We'll see if herO can do it in 2 minutes or less. It's unlikely, because he's not that bad. In the bottom left, he might just be down 1 game, but he's still fighting. It's Ryung.
The top right as the red Protoss, he is Root herO.
Now, I know everyone wants to get upset about Protoss, and be the first person to agree with you 9 times out of 10. But I will say that loss was not herO coming in with Stalkers looking OP or Zealots with Charge being too broken. Ryung went for just a terrible opener and just absolutely cost him too much to be worthwhile.
I agree. I think in the old days, when the Widowmine, when the Widowmine would force out an Observer or the Orc had to come back home, it really wasn't that much. That's not what really makes or break why Widowmine openers are bad anymore. It's that the follow-up is worse. Those tank pushes don't do as much damage. Your bio is too late. They take control of the map too long. Like, it just doesn't feel worth it. But unfortunately, there's not many builds that the Terrans are like, 100%, that's the best one to go for. They're trying Hellion run-bys, which can also be shut down. They're trying just immediately into tank pushes, which the Protoss scouts with an Observer and then gets greedy until they know when the push comes. There's a lot of things that, like, I think, honestly, that a Barracks build is the best, like a 2-on-1 or 3 racks, but even that has its weaknesses, right? So hopefully Ryung tries something different.
One of the things I'm really sad about, and we're kind of seeing this be a thing, I guess, but +1 for Terran isn't nearly as powerful as it used to be. Now, maybe that's a good thing in the terms of balance, and this is Terran bias shining through, but it just feels like, hey, here's a bunch of Marines and Morales +1, kind of like that game we saw earlier today out of MMA, but then you're just met with Stalkers and Force Fields, and you're kind of like, cool.
This is also something that, again, I don't want to be like mean to Ryung because he does do well often enough. Never quite our champion often, but he does well enough. But I do think that even in the last pre-4.0 that this could look very similar, even without herO's new Stalkers or new Chrono.
I mean, for
there's
me,
also that.
It's a lot less like Protoss is good now. It's just herO's been good always. Because like herO, you mentioned his aggression earlier. Let's like reiterate the fact that he got down dirty. He was doing DTs and other gross things. Like herO has a history of being dominant in this matchup, we'll say.
Yeah, and very abusive, so that you always feel like, you know, flipping Protoss. So I'm sure that's what Ryung's feeling. Now, Ryung did go for a different opener, and he did even try to hide it from an Adept Scout. He definitely did not mean to let last game scout, even if I was talking about how, like, it's usually not the case anyways, doesn't matter. He didn't want it to happen, and he doesn't want it to happen, especially now. He wants here to at least think it could be a Widowmine drop or a tank opener or something. But honestly, seeing the lack of factory at the front could already be suspicious. You're going to get to that time when a medevac would usually come in, and he's going to be like, okay, it's not that either. And this gives no scouting to Ryung, which in this particular game is a real downside because you do have a Dark Shrine.
I'm like so jaded about this. I really like the potential power Ryung's going to have coming in. Like the army supply is going to be great. If his control's half decent, it should be fine, but it still comes into the problem that, like, yeah. Will he have scans, and more importantly, will he have enough of them without a third CC?
Yeah, and this is the, specifically the downside of the Rax builds I was going to talk about, if he did it, and this is exactly what happens. No scouting, no 2-base medevac, oh, you have a Dark Shrine, let me build something here.
Yeah, I was just kind of casually talking about it, but it ends up being like a for serious statement here. But the whole +1 thing.
Oh, that's awkward.
This is super awkward. If he stops the DT warp in, oh, that's huge. Okay, this is a good start for Ryung. This is a really good start for Ryung. But I was just gonna comment here, the +1 power timing and all these other things. Sure, DTs might be here awkwardly to meet them, but it still comes down to the fact that a couple of force fields, stalkers, they can actually deal with this if done appropriately. But herO's still insisting on going with DTs and not making Archons, so this one at least gonna head across the map. There is detection. He's blind and good to go.
Yeah, so that was really great. That would have been a complete surprise. He could have just muled. His army would be out of position, or, you know, perhaps even worse, losing the army because he doesn't have a scan. Now, though, he is kind of forced to turtle when his intention, I believe, was to go for an earlier attack than medevacs and do some significant damage on a third base he thought was already down. So his build is like a little weird here. It's a little messed up. The medevacs are going to be much later. And herO, it's not great he opened up with the Dark Shrine, didn't do anything. Has time to recover with his advanced tech. Now he's got Blink on the way. No forges, though. It's probably like the biggest takeaway from going for Dark Shrine. Didn't work.
I said, chat, personally, I don't care who wins as long as it's not a Zerg player. Down with Zerg.
It is the ultimate conspiracy, man. We all have to band together against the Zerg threat.
I mean, that's kind of how things started, right? Getting off fire together, Jimmy and Phoenix.
Yeah,
but...
this is how literally Legacy of the Void started. With Ultras. Band together to get them nerfed.
I will say this much, regardless of who goes on to the finals, Impact is going to be quite a formidable opponent. But... Oh, Warp Prism gets caught. Things are churning up quite well for Ryung in this game. He might be blue, but there's no Millhouse going on.
He really is getting quite lucky. There also might be just knowledge of where herO usually sends things. I mean, hey, the way you spawn, the Warp Prism probably goes down and then left, right? So there's some of that too, but just very coincidental move outs is working real well. It catches a scan, a DT with the scan that he had back in his base, and Ryung is 2-base all-inning. He will run out of scans eventually. They've worked out for him so far, and herO still isn't quite to storm and charge. Needs to buy a couple more seconds.
Ooh, this is awkward.
Oh no!
Yes, all of those mouth sounds.
There wasn't that many stalkers that they wouldn't even one-shot the medevacs anyways, but that could have still been scarier. Storm is now done.
Okay, so might be 1 or 2. Yeah, he doesn't have that many Templar right now, but catching these will be great. Maybe feedback the medevacs too, because feedback's basically free. Am I right? Am I right? No.
Yeah, am I right, guys? It's such a good spell.
I'm actually kind of jaded. It would be equally good to feedback or storm. Either way, some big damage needs to come down because herO doesn't have that much to fight with. The +1 weapons that Ryung can do well, but boy, does he bathe in those storms. I don't know how he kept those units alive.
Thank God there was 4 medevacs and combat shields. Lots of charge lots.
Thank God 4 medevacs.
Yes.
This is a problem.
When did Widowmines get boosters on their back?
The rocket boosters? I think that's with Digging Claws, right? No, it's not. Okay, they just have them.
He hasn't. Yeah, because I had noticed it kind of last game. I didn't really think about it, and I'm like, when do they get raw? Is it the
it's
skin?
probably skin. It's probably the skin.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, because they look.
Those are a little bit
different.
beefier than normal Widowmines.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Ryung is, as I mentioned, was 2-base all-inning, I suppose. Now his 3rd CC is done, but it's going to be so late, and he still doesn't have an answer to the storms. Some people's answer is good kiting, good splitting along with Liberators, but his Liberator's super late. His splitting was not very good, and now he's being bullied back into his natural. herO is warping in offensively. He sees an opportunity. He doesn't have a storm.
I will say the one thing Ryung kind of has okay, though, right? Okay, he doesn't have storm, and that sucks. He doesn't have Liberators, that sucks. He's got upgrades going for him. herO gave up upgrades going for this fast storm and all these other things. So he doesn't have 1-1 on the way. He doesn't have a double forge to even start that up and chrono it. So, like, there's a small potential here. Those upgrades could work out for Ryung if he was pushing onto +2. But does he not have an armory? He does not have an armory.
I don't think so. He was dedicating so much to this attack, but this is a really smart move from Ryung. I think he noticed that there was just reinforcements in the middle of the map, so of course there would be an insistence on using warp gates offensively, not to save his main. It doesn't do very much. The recall is immediate, but then that it is doing something. It is bringing the army back home.
Ooh, nice catch on the Immortal. DT is going to be a small problem too, as Ryung is chased off. He goes back to the main, but scanning ahead, and thank goodness he did this, so he sees the Stalkers. herO, actually, funny enough, supply blocked, I guess, through these little pokes of the pylons. So a little bit of an issue there. But this is the base where the forges are. This is the point that's worth pressuring. If he can keep herO from ever getting upgrades, Ryung does stand a fighting chance. But man, it is just taking Ryung way too long to get that armory down. His own +2 has not started for so long now.
Ryung has some eagle eyes here. Every single time a DT passes by his army, he happens to be looking and scans. Well, not that time. But for the most part. So this is the first time a DT has gotten around to do some harassment. He's made quite a few DTs, including the 3 that were canceled with the pylon. Nicely done. That is a big enough army that if he gets a concave, the storms won't be the the extreme counter that they were in the beginning. In fact, oh god, these are really wasteful storms.
Yeah, I mean, use them before you lose them, but still only catching at 3 Marines or so. What do I do? Bro, gets some good shots, gets the Warp Prism 2 on the right side. But is that enough? Liberators are set up. Stalkers are trying to take them out. The Marines kiting underneath us, but so many Zealots are still pushing through it. Even with those upgrades, Ryung doesn't take the fight.
Not at all, actually. The concave was good, but the Liberate count wasn't very high. I would blame that mostly, and then he did eat a storm in the heart of his army, despite dodging so many others. The scan goes down, and Ryung is not happy. He's like, you're not on a 4th. You didn't hide a 5th from me. You don't have any upgrades. Why did I lose that fight?
Because he selected the wrong button at the start screen.
GG.
No, poor Ryung. Well, we're going to get a good show now with the finals being herO versus Impact. So if you guys are unfamiliar with the format of the Olimoleague, best of 5 is coming up next to round out the show. Impact and herO, Zerg versus Protoss. But yo, we've had some big love come in throughout the stream. Thank you guys for joining us. We'll be back in a few minutes now, commercial break, while we get set up for the finals. See you soon.